We're recording. Do you want to bring us in?
Got us, man.
Okay. Let's bring it in, maybe.
Wait for this beat to drop. Hold up. Yo, just wait for it. We'll get a new beat soon.
Yeah.
That's why this one's kind of doing its job.
Yeah, honestly.
You know.
But man, you know what time it is, man. It's another episode of Vaulti Radio. I'm here with my co-host.
Hello. It is me again, Carlo, and our other co-host, Kenny.
Yes, for the second week.
Yep.
I'm a co-host now.
You're welcome.
Great.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
And
Officially.
Thanks.
We have.
Yeah, officially.
We actually have a special guest that is an unofficial Vaulti boy today, which is amazing. Dallas's, but now San Antonio's very own.
He's ours.
Yep.
Yes, this is my home.
Nasty Daws.
Yes, Nasty Daws, Daws VTG,
Dawsman.
or whatever you want to call me.
Welcome, Daws. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to come. I know you're a busy man. Or are you?
Not really.
Hey, it takes a lot to raise Billy the cat.
Yeah.
Yes, it
No,
actually
really.
does.
It
Especially
does.
right now.
Yeah.
It's always a good time, having, obviously having guests on, but having the guest be one of our actual friends is just a plus. I remember whenever you and I had first met, we had just kind of passed each other at events, whenever I was rolling with the guys or whatever. But I remember one time in specific, it was a DFW event, and it was, they had the fucking wrestling ring, whatever. But we walk in and it's like early, and you're set up. And I'm just kind of walking with Isaac, and then you're just kind of just like, "Hey, Avery," and I'm like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Daws?" I'm like, "Hey, it's great to see you," because I didn't really notice. I was just real stoned. I remember I was real stoned, and then you're the one who came up to me, and you were just like, "Hey, Avery," and I was like, "Oh, Daws, somebody I know." I was like, "This is great." It was a lot. It was very comforting. And that was around the time that he had that they had me and Brandon out there.
Oh, yeah.
What a fucking trip
Yeah,
that was.
I heard that was a great time.
Yeah, it definitely was.
I don't remember how I met you, Dawes.
I remember how I met you. I remember that you came in a white van and you were dropping stuff at 1621. And that's how I met you. And I remember you were always like wearing like gay shirts, and I loved it. I thought it was so cool. Like you would always have like a really nice vintage tee, and you would always be like fresh from the rag house, and you would just go straight, drop off the pack, and then you would just be like, yeah, I've just been driving and picking for like 8 hours, deuces, I gotta leave.
Dude, straight up.
I remember how I met you now
Yeah.
because you did the same thing, but you pulled up and the first thing you said to me was, "Hey, where the fuck are James and I?"
No, dude.
And I was like, "Who are you?"
That was I think that was around the time that all of us had met him.
Yeah.
And I remember whenever
Yeah.
what solidified the friendship
Yeah.
was that Dallas trip for sure.
That's the
Yeah,
only
dude.
reason I used to come to San Antonio was just like stop by
Yeah.
until I just moved here one day.
But
Like,
do you-
yeah, I'm just feel like going to the shop and
yeah.
saying what's up. Or
I mean,
fuck
it's
you
been
to
a
the
vibe,
guys.
dude. I remember you were a couple weeks before you actually moved out here. You had told us you were like, "Hey, I'm thinking," or it was like a little birdie told me that you were gonna move out here, and then I had seen you. And then I was like, "Hey, so what's this all about?" And you were like, "Yeah, I'll be out here in like 2 weeks." I was like, "Bet." And you already had it all planned out. You were like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I have a spot, whatever." And I was just like, "Dope." And then ever since then, you've just been around a lot more often, and it's been a fucking blast, man.
Yeah, I choose to spend my free time at the Vaulti,
Yeah.
100%.
What
I
was
mean,
Absolutely.
Was there a certain motivating factor to moving down to San Antonio, or was it like just random?
Well, like I was kind of tired of Dallas because I lived in downtown.
Okay.
So like pretty much everything in Dallas is like super expensive, and it's just a lot of like separate cities. Like you know how San Antonio, you can
Yeah,
go
yeah.
like all the way up here and it's still
Yeah,
San
yeah, yeah.
Antonio.
Right.
But around there, it's just all these different cities and
Kinda
like a lot
Houston,
of yeah,
almost.
yeah. And like I knew James and Isaac,
Yeah.
and I kind of wanted to go to Austin first, but I was like, for other reasons we won't talk about.
Yeah, no,
I wanted to go like all the way to San Antonio.
Yeah.
And the price down here is not bad at all
Yeah.
for what you get.
Yeah.
What was the transition like? Was it kind of seamless, or did it kind of take you a while to adjust to not only like having kind of a bit of a different market out here, but just I guess knowing not that many people moving out here.
Well, like I just started going to Yell Shop and the events, and then I
Yeah.
met like people like Dirty South Grails and like Hate the Bins
Hell yeah,
and
dude! Shout out Seth.
and out hustling and like all those guys, and then they told me about other spots and other events.
They just gotta
And
put you on the scene.
yeah, and like I know what I'm talking about with vintage. So if I meet anyone,
Yeah.
we just like connect, and
That's tight.
pretty much everyone I know is through vintage here. I don't really know
Hell yeah,
anyone
dude.
else, but
How did you get your start in vintage? Like, what was the first thing? Because I know that you have a pretty deep Smashing Peas collection, but what what started that itch for you for vintage, or like collecting T-shirts in particular? You know.
Well, like T-shirts started really later. It all started with snapbacks, like hats, like all that.
I didn't even know
from
that.
Mac Miller. Like, I just wanted to be Mac Miller.
Okay.
Literally. I want to wear vintage snapbacks, and then I just always was just into the vintage aesthetic. I got into Supreme, like heavy in like high school or like early high school, and then I just started learning about what inspired their clothes, and then it was pretty much all vintage. And then
Isn't that crazy?
vintage just took over my life, and then that's been like my whole life since.
Yeah, that's so sick, dude. I think that it's you touched on it, like streetwear and like Supreme in general, like having a huge inspiration from vintage, and I think that that's one thing that I noticed as well. Whereas like I started off with Supreme, and like that's how I got into fashion. Like I saw Round 2 randomly on YouTube one day, and like this was like 2015, 2016. Like I am like I would consider myself relatively new to like the fashion or like clothing game, and I'll be completely honest about that. But like truthfully, like I learned about streetwear and like how much inspiration they draw from stuff that has already been made, and like not in like a dig kind of way, but it's just so cool, you know, finding the original piece, like the original the OP, the original post, you know, I don't know.
And with Supreme, it was like they copied a lot of designs, but you could really look into like what they were, and there was a lot of knowledge about like who they collabed with, or like a lot of like the photo tees. Like that's how I discovered Morrissey, literally. And Smiths is one of my favorite bands now. Yeah, saw Morrissey on a Supreme tee, looked them up, and just like that. So like I don't hate Supreme now, but like they definitely just ripped off a lot of stuff. But you know.
There's a lot of like there's a lot of big brands like that. Like there's like people that they send to collect like archive pieces for like inspiration. Like I was talking to someone about it, but like there's like, I think, isn't it Supreme? Like their vintage collection is like super insane.
I can imagine
all of the
just,
pieces
like,
that they like look to
reference.
exactly.
Also,
just for future reference and stuff too.
Right.
Also, Chinatown Market has a huge. I knew a guy that worked there, and they would just buy vintage.
Really?
Just all the time,
But
just
that's
to.
smart.
That's kind of crazy. Though.
That's the smartest thing, because like sorry to keep bringing it up, but like Round 2, like if you see their newest videos, like they have this like whole catalog, and I feel like that's the first time, besides maybe like the Nigo interview or something like that with Complex, where like they show his whole warehouse,
his
like that's
Levi's collection,
like,
bro.
You know, I feel like that's the first time that you've been able to see like vintage pieces where people use it as reference. You know, like a huge thing, like not as it's a taboo thing, but like where it's been publicized that like, hey, this is like this is stuff that's been made before, you know, and like not in a bad way, but like everyone takes reference from somewhere.
And one of the things I like about what Supreme does with that, they might copy it, but they put their own tag on it and their own year, so it doesn't look like, you know, a bootleg vintage shirt. Yeah, like we're seeing a lot of nowadays.
They reference it just enough, I feel like. Whenever it comes to, or I mean, sometimes they even get licensing deals for, like even the photo that they, the photo tee that they did of, technically a photo tee with the Michael Jackson one. That photo, I think from what I've heard, has never been used on like an album or anything like that. They had to like ask his estate to use that photo of him, and just kind of stuff like that. Like if you see any of the big collabs, like the tag will be different and stuff like that too. But I think they reference it just enough. And even going back to like Chinatown Market, I mean, I remember first hearing about Chinatown Market, and they were doing bootleg like
Supreme
designer.
LV.
They have like the G links and shit, and like like all this like the Christian Dior Born Again, like all that, like
that was huge.
It was major. It was major until they like
major
overplayed it.
And then like I'm pretty sure LeBron wore those like Converse that they came out with.
With
and
the
then
smiley.
Ever since then, I consider them a big brand, not like a
not
new
like
brand.
a little brand. They're good now.
They definitely were one of the brands that went to like Market.
Yeah, not Chinatown Market.
Formerly known as Chinatown Market. I'd say that they were one of the brands that kind of just took the jump without any hesitation to kind of become, I guess, mainstream, being available, widely available, massively available in urban
like stores and like Foot Locker, like,
at the mall, stuff like that.
Exactly, but still maintaining that relevancy. You can go to like Foot Locker and buy like, and it's kind of the same with like certain things. Like I know Billionaire Boys Club like they have like they have like a deal with Nice Kicks, and they do like little like capsules in stores. But
Avery just showed me that like apparently Warren Lotus tees are being held at like fucking Brooklyn Nets like merchandise centers and stuff like that.
that's kind of crazy to think about it.
Yeah, that's full circle.
Yeah, literally.
In the team shops, and you could just get a Warren Lotus T-shirt.
Right.
And
Well, I feel like
I think that's pretty tight. But
It got
that's definitely
officialized during
crazy.
the bubble, no? Like when they were doing all those shirts.
I think that's whenever he did his first NBA collection. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Is that like an official NBA collab, or is that something?
Isn't he getting like sued by Nike?
I
Or
think
is that
that's
still
for
going
something
on?
different?
Yeah, I think that he ended because he got double sued because he dropped the Jeff, and it was an official Jeff Staple collab, but they did a Warren Lotus dunk or whatever in the Staple colorway, and then Nike sued him for that.
Nike got real mad at Jeff Staple for that as well.
I'd believe it because
Yeah,
like
they got
that the
pissed.
pigeon, the OG pigeon is like one of
You
like
can't mess with that.
It's like a grail, like that's actually a
Mess with that,
grail.
bro.
Yeah.
But he got sued for that, and then I think he just scrapped it and then tried to drop like 3 different colorways, and then they sued him for the design and not just like the collab itself.
For the actual mold and model of the shoe.
So like
Yeah,
if you look at the shoes, which is correct, like the shoes themselves, they like the whole shape of them is different. Like the Reaper sign, like it probably changed like 70% of the shoe,
Just so they don't get sued.
Yeah. But like
Off a technicality.
I feel like it also like messed up the dimensions because honestly, those shoes run like almost a
They're
whole
so
size.
bad.
They look
Well,
weird.
at least we
Super
were able to get
small.
our pairs like before all of that went down, and then shortly after, in the next couple months after that lawsuit ended up happening, we would have people coming into the store with a bunch of Warren Lotus stuff, all different sizes, and we'd just be like, well, "Where'd you get this from?" And they're like, "Oh, well, we ordered the shoes."
Yeah.
But he basically said, "Hey, I can't get you the shoes, but I'll give you a mystery box," and it was just a bunch.
Yeah,
I couldn't
just a
even
bunch of
choose
random
what it
shit,
was, bro.
right.
It was just the most random shit, all different
Yeah.
sizes.
I remember someone did that. It was an ass pizza thing, but he didn't get the merch out in time, so he brought us like
Carl's
a pillow
Jr.
and like the little.
Dude, he's probably
pins
done
and
that
the-
like 3 or 4 times now.
I've heard
Every drop he does.
some like a handful of people just never get their merch.
I
Yeah.
cannot even imagine.
Hey, I'll always love him though.
Yeah.
Hey, he really made a whole Supreme collab out of a Vine. If you
No,
think about it,
Dude,
that's
what an
kind of
absolute-
crazy.
Yes.
There was this guy that was having a conversation with me in store the other day, and he just he kind of picked up the socks that we had, the ass pizza socks,
like
the
elite
Carl's
ones?
Jr.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
He just looks at me and he goes, "Dude, what
Oh
the
my
fuck?"
God.
And I go, "I know, right?" And he's just like, "Bro, this guy." He goes, right place and right time and right people that he was
Yeah.
around.
Yeah,
I think
honestly.
just kind of in that era of,
he
I
grew
wouldn't
up all
even say
around them, like-
fashion, dude. I
It
would
was
just say
like
the internet.
the beginning of Instagram, like when Tumblr was at
That was
the
on
height of it. Like
Vine. Like high key, like that Gucci Louis or the
Yeah,
3 box
got the
logo.
Gucci
that-
Louis
But he
That's on Vine.
He did like the bootleg Kanye stuff. Like
Yeah.
right across the street when Kanye did his first like Pablo
was
pop
the-
up.
yeah. He
Ass
was
Pizza
selling
literally
bootlegs.
just sold bootlegs right across the street.
I did
And
not
then
even know that.
That's
They
how I
respected
first
it,
out.
though, right?
Because
Yeah,
like
like-
Complex wrote about it, and I'm pretty sure Kanye like used some of his stuff. Or
Yeah.
something
That's
like
sick.
that.
Yeah, and I mean between that and like being in that circle with like Luca and them, like it all just like kind of fell into place like at
For
that
sure.
point.
I thought about it right after he said that. I was just like, damn, dude, right place, right time, and right people. I was like, that is so true. I was
Yeah.
like, I never even thought of it that way.
Also, I didn't know that those are modeled off after Nike Elite socks. That's what,
Look at him.
You could
Look
do
at him next
know,
time.
now that you think about it, right?
Now that I think
As
about
soon
it,
as I
I'm
saw
looking
him,
at
I was
every single
like-
part, and I'm like, yep.
I was
Look at
like,
him
those are
next time,
definitely
bro.
like Nike Elite
I haven't
socks.
even seen him. So.
Did you
Dude,
see
they're
the?
so funny.
Didn't he do a Chrome Hearts collab just recently?
I don't know about a collab.
I'm pretty sure they dropped like masks. No,
Was he just referencing Chrome Hearts? Or
no,
was this,
like
official?
I'm pretty sure it was like or maybe he like took something like he.
You're
bought
I'm
something.
going
I
to
don't
need you
know.
to fact check.
Yeah.
Okay,
I haven't
let
seen
me see,
anything
let me
like
see.
that either.
Let me
Jerry,
see.
can we
That's
get
a
on that
very
one,
bold
please?
statement.
but yeah, Jerry,
Let me
can
see.
you look it up, Jerry? I got Jerry on it.
Okay.
see.
While Jerry's looking
Jerry.
that up and Kenny's looking that up,
Jerry.
Daws, like one of our main points. Actually, do you want to do bootleg or do you want to do owner to owner first?
Oh man, I mean, let's kind of tap into a little bit of his past.
Yeah,
I
no,
guess.
100%.
Past, present day, future. I guess
Yeah.
we'll kind of get all into that. Let
Yeah,
me
they're
see, man.
actual things. You never saw those?
Okay,
Man,
I have seen these.
I don't know.
There's like it's the the Matty Boy joint.
I'm
like,
sorry for our audio listeners. We're looking on our phone at a grilled listing.
Grilled.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but there's multiple listings across like
Yeah.
Grilled and eBay and
Okay.
like yeah.
Yeah.
Got to look into that.
It might not be like an official thing, but if anything, he just like bought some shit and made a face mask out of it. you
Okay.
know?
Just like did patchwork.
That's ass pizza for you.
Yeah.
That's a pizza.
A genius, as some people would say.
Yeah.
But anyways, I guess kind of we already kind of tapped into what was kind of your start in the vintage, or I guess your love in the vintage game. But what was kind of the jump that you made, because you're previously a partial store owner, correct? Or is that like
Yes.
the correct way to label it? But what kind of went through your mind to kind of make the big jump to like, okay, I'm actually gonna own a store, and I'm going to put in the work to do it, because that's something that, not everybody is willing to do.
Well, to bring up what Carlo has been saying, we all watched round 2.
Yeah.
So at that
circle,
time,
baby.
like I thought that, that was the only way to do it in vintage.
Yeah.
That's literally, I was just like,
Right.
I need a store. I want a store because that's how you do this. And then, so I just I did a lot of pop-ups in Dallas at like local concerts in the music scene. And then that's how I got my name out, and then just started my like business on my own. And then I eventually like met more people in the vintage scene, and then just got opportunities to open a store. I had like a few different people I was going to partner with, but I picked owner to owner, and then we just built it up to like what it is now.
Yeah.
And I just always, it was mainly just round 2. I was like, I need a store. But
Yeah.
Right. To
now,
be successful.
yes, I think a little differently now.
Yeah.
as you guys might know.
Right. 'Cause tell us what you do now. What do you do
Yes,
now?
eBay all day, pretty much.
eBay all day.
Independent
eBay-
seller, baby.
Yes, and Depop. Now that they have Depop payments, which
Dude, fuck PayPal.
is also amazing. Yes.
God.
So, and eBay has payments and Depop, so no more PayPal at all.
Yeah.
Boo, PayPal.
Yeah,
You
we
also-
are
you
not
sell anywhere
fucking with
else?
PayPal.
You sell anywhere
I
else?
sell on Etsy also, but not like cool stuff.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
a lot of like what y'all give away for free.
Well, all the links to where you can find stuff that Daws sells will be in the description.
Kenny,
Hopefully
you're
we'll
writing
work
the
on that.
description, okay? But
Great.
All right, it's Vintage Shirts 101 on everything.
Vintage Shirts 101.
Wait, oh God, I had a quick question, but I honestly spaced because of the description.
But anyways, so kind of going into opening your store. I mean, that's funny that you say that round 2 was really the inspiration, because people got to understand that round 2, the thing what they were doing with not only having a store, but what they were doing on YouTube. I mean, they gave us the option to go on YouTube and watch. I mean, their episodes used to be fucking back
Like
when they were in
an
Richmond, like an
Like an
hour
hour long. Yeah.
30
yeah.
minutes, and it was just great. I mean, that's one
Yeah.
thing to fucking just watch and end the night with, whatever. But
And,
I mean,
and still to this day, it's
yeah,
like just
honestly, dude,
yeah.
put it on.
still, I
Their
mean,
content's still
I'm not really
going crazy.
too fond of the format that they have their YouTube videos in now, but I could still respect.
Still
it,
watch
obviously.
it, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
it's tolerable
For
Yeah.
sure.
But they're like literally like a blueprint, low key. For
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like especially for like content, I feel like that's big because like no one's really like capitalized on it besides like the independent people, like the Paul Cantus,
Does.
like the
Shout
I mean
out
like
Paul
on
Cantu.
YouTube.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
I mean
yeah.
like on YouTube,
Paul
like
Cantu, yeah. Paul
Kai
Cantu,
Somar,
Star,
Jacob
like-
Star, like
yeah.
all these people, like those are the first people that kind of, in my opinion, that kind of made it mainstream or popularized like buying streetwear, vintage, whatever it may be, shoes,
and,
all that.
and kind of like mixing all that together, the vintage with
Yeah.
the sneakers,
Right.
and streetwear,
Streetwear, yeah.
and all that. It was just like, what is this?
Yeah, the
And
fact that they were buy,
everything.
sell, trade, and you were
Yep.
able to watch the deals go down, and it was just it was a look into something that I guess we were just kind of craving, but we didn't even really know it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the kind of content that we were just just waiting for a new round 2 episode, whatever. But and plus you have to admire their timing whenever it comes to this stuff too. For them to get off their feet in their hometown and then make the jump directly to Los Angeles on Melrose in the fashion district,
Yeah.
shopping district, I guess if you say. I mean, just
Yeah.
bravo all
And
across.
I mean,
the
they
board
really
to them.
blew that spot up right around there.
Honestly.
Like,
now there's
dude.
yeah.
Now
They're like-
that's where everybody wants to be. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly.
You have those obviously concrete stores on Fairfax and
Yeah.
Melrose and stuff like that. But whenever a buy sell trade store fucking goes on Melrose,
Right.
sheesh.
I'd assume they single-handedly raised the rent at every single location
I could only
on Melrose.
imagine, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, to bring that business. And it's crazy because I don't really like. I think Virginia. I don't really think like fashion. You know what I mean? I feel like
they have a big vintage scene like before round 2 even.
Oh, okay.
I knew that just because like that whole all the like Midwest or
that's not like DMV now. That's not DMV area.
Whatever you call that, all that area
I don't want
up
to be
there.
ignorant,
Yeah.
but
DMVs, I think, is like an
Baltimore.
hour or so away.
It's like
Because people would go from DC
like
to
Washington,
Virginia. Type
yeah.
shit,
Yeah. That makes more sense. Maybe it's like sub DMV, tri-state area. Let's call it the tri-state area.
Sure.
I feel like that isn't that like actually.
I don't know.
Like,
I'm not
Dude,
Whenever
educated.
I
I
think
couldn't
of
even
this.
fucking tell you.
Isn't that from like Phineas and Ferb? Or?
Well, tri-state
Yeah.
area is like an actual thing.
Yeah, that is an
like,
actual
It's an
thing.
actual
I
thing.
just think about Phineas.
I do too. That's
Stephen
what
Schwartz. Yeah, that's funny.
Oh man, but I guess kind of transitioning to being a store owner, what was that transition like for you from being somebody who wanted to do something to be like, okay, I'm actually doing this, everything across the board. I'm talking like
remembered
stocking the store. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with customers, because that's not something that a lot of people that are used to selling vintage independently are used to. Because customer service in the kind of field that we're working in is huge.
Yeah.
Right. You gotta
Well,
not convince people, but you gotta make them feel comfortable enough to buy an
Exactly.
old shirt where you
Yeah.
could just go to the mall and get a shirt.
Exactly.
It's the same price.
You have to
or
give them a
cheaper.
reason to spend the money with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, like I definitely had learned that from just working jobs. Like I worked at a pizza shop, I worked at Cold Stone, I worked at Kids and Baby Gap, and I worked at Freebirds, like a burrito shop. So I had like customer service like normal, but I didn't know how to be like a salesman at all. So like now I was selling my own product, so it was just extremely different. But at first, my main part of the store was just bringing inventory. So
Like
that's
product
pretty
side.
much that's pretty much all I was focusing on, because we were at the flea market just open on the weekends. But then once we got a real store, I had to learn how to be a salesman and then go into like events
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
you got to learn how to be a salesman if you're selling your own product.
Right.
Can I
So
say
the-
something? I'm gonna forget it.
Oh no, go ahead.
The
Go
gears
for it.
were
Same way,
turning,
go for
and
it.
it was the thing that I forgot earlier.
I'm the
It's
same
about
way.
PayPal. Isn't PayPal owned by Elon Musk, or am I tripping?
I think
No,
he
he
sold
used to be.
it.
He
Yeah.
used to be.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
used to be. Yeah.
Interesting.
He sold. I'm pretty sure he sold 100% of his shares in order to start up Tesla.
Tesla.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But it was started by like 11 people. It's like a big group that are like all billionaires in
Okay.
their own way now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a cool thing to look
Did you know
into.
that I have a tertiary connection to the Musk family?
Oh, dude,
what?
listen to this, bro. I trip out.
So one of my best friends from middle school. My apologies, Uganda, went to UCLA, and his fraternity mate, his name is Andrew Musk, and he is this ginger hair South African man, and I was just like. I didn't like really like dig too deep into it, but Uganda was just like, yeah, this is Elon Musk's first cousin. Like they've done like it's so funny because like I don't know I don't know what I don't want to give out other people's information,
Right,
but
right.
like I don't know, it was cool like the stories that they would tell, and he just has like this thick accent, and like I don't know the story. Yes, but,
Basically,
yeah.
nothing like Elon Musk, but they're related.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
Yeah.
But-
Elon Musk, if you listen to him talk, a lot of people think he sounds British, but what it is, it's like a South African
Yeah.
descent of the accent. It's very strong and very like stern toned. It's honestly weird. Like
Yeah.
people think he talks like a robot, but if you talk to more people, I guess from South America,
No, South Africa.
South African fucking descent, I guess
Yeah.
it kind of carries on.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm sorry. What was there? anything
No,
else?
not really. I wanted to
My
go off
bad.
on that
Shout
tangent
out
for a little bit.
to,
because,
shout out to
like-
Elon Musk.
Yeah,
Nah,
shout
man.
out to Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Fund the podcast.
Oh
Yeah,
my
man, buy
God,
me a
sponsored
Tesla.
by Tesla.
Buy me a fucking Tesla.
Hey,
Elon.
can I say one more aside real quick? Hey, thanks to everyone listening. We are currently 96 on the Fashion Podcast on Apple Podcast. I mean, like, you
For
know,
real.
in any world, you know, that
Apparently
that's,
we got drip.
Yeah, apparently.
Dude,
But like seriously,
that's a huge honor, and it wouldn't be without you guys
yes.
listening.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I just
We
wanted to say that
appreciate it.
because
I know
that's a
it's
huge
kind of-
milestone.
I know it's kind of a lot to handle sometimes.
No,
that's
listening
dope.
to 3 or 4 people talk at the same time
No,
over
for
each
sure.
other, but you know what I'm saying. Whenever you're passionate about something, you can't beat it.
Yeah. no, for sure.
But so anyways, kind of going back to I guess what we were talking about. So customer service and talking to customers, dealing with customers, that wasn't anything new to you. So the only transition you felt like that was at least a bit noticeable was being just, I guess, consistent and kind of having more drive, obviously, because it's your thing.
Oh yeah.
But I guess from there, I guess leaving the company and then becoming an independent seller, it was already kind of something I feel like that you were already familiar with. Like, okay, I'm doing this all by myself. But was there any sort of extra drive or kick that you had after you had left the company and just kind of decided to do it on your own? Did you go harder, or did you just kind of, I don't know, chill, just kind of took that time to just kind of relax?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I've been doing lately, because when I decided to leave, I had like 3 months left in my apartment in Dallas, and I knew that I didn't want to move to another apartment in Dallas, and my rent went up like $500 or something a month. So I was like, I got to get out of this place. I don't really want to move anywhere like close to where my store was or anywhere in Dallas.
Right.
So I was like, if I want to like figure out a way to move to another city, I got to like leave this now and go on my own and just save up bread. And then I did that for like 3 months, found my spot here, and then pretty much just like moved here. And now I've been like kind of relaxing, but no, as soon as I like left the company, I had a plan. Yeah. Exactly what I was going to do, because I mean, I wouldn't have just like left, you
With
know,
no
just
plan.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
let's just see. Let's just
like,
I don't know
figure it
when.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not like anything was going on bad there at all, and they're still a great store and still like open all the time and have pretty much the same amount of inventory, but it was just like I wanted to be on my own.
Yeah, it was a personal and
That's totally
a business
understandable.
decision as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I feel like that's just business.
Yeah, we've been through it. We hear a lot about it. I mean, it happens. I mean, you get
Yeah.
it's not necessarily that you get burned out of, I guess, the vintage scene. I mean, I'm sure that's the case sometimes, but really, it's just sometimes you just need to take being
matters into
independent.
your own hands.
Exactly, being independent.
Yeah.
I mean, can just be so beneficial in so
Yeah.
many ways.
Even if you think about our shop, like, you know, it's kind of like crazy that we all kind of like coexist so well, and we have 11 members of our team.
Oh
and
no,
just,
the
like,
Vaulti is insane.
yeah, like honestly,
The-
like I love
Yeah,
all
like,
of our team members to death, but like
Yeah.
it's kind of insane how we can all tolerate each other for the amount of time that we can, you know. And like sometimes, like I'm not saying that in a
I
weird
feel like
way.
that, like,
No,
because
no, no. I mean,
we
it's
see
totally true.
everyone. We're there like 5
Yeah.
or 6 days out of the week. We see everyone.
Nah, not
like,
for sure. And I
we
think
see
that,
everyone at their highs and at their lows, and it's like, wow, this is crazy.
yeah,
I mean, it's amazing that there's not like one employee that I don't like, because
Yeah, I
Wow.
mean, you
like
know,
no, like I can like really say that. Like
Yeah.
I'll
I
just go to the
appreciate
store
that.
when anyone is there and just be like, all right,
Yeah.
this is
Okay,
what's
I'm dealing
going on
with this guy
today.
today.
yeah. That's
I
funny.
forgot who I was talking to. I'm pretty sure it was one of our employees, but they thought that like you just like lived in Dallas still, and you just
Oh
like
my
were here
God.
all the time. And they were like, "Oh yeah, like Daws was." I think it was like after Black Friday, and they were like, "Oh yeah, like did Daws just like decide to come down?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, I was
Like,
chilling
yeah,
there
like-
all day Black Friday, but like
that was a vibe.
like,
How hectic
I-
was that day?
I used to own a store for like almost 2 years, so I kind of miss just, you know, being in a store in the atmosphere and all that. So I like to come around,
Right.
and you guys have good energy and good vibes, and it's all positive. And y'all were playing a lot of Playboy Cardi that day, so I
Oh
love
my
that. It was
God.
I definitely heard the whole lot of red twice,
Yeah.
back
Yeah,
to
dude.
back, like.
Oh, we touched on that on one of the last podcasts. It's like
Yeah.
that's how I know that Isaac wanted all of us to get in the zone. was
Right.
He just played it from top to bottom. I was like, yeah, I needed this.
Yeah, I wasn't complaining. I love Cardi.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
He was in my like top 5 on Spotify this
Yeah,
year.
he was my number
if I'm not
3.
mistaken. I think
He
it
was
like,
my number 2.
I think he was number. I think he might have been my number. He was either 2 or 4 because I know Yachty was 1, Baby Keem was 3,
That
and
was-
Future was 5.
That was
Keem
like
3.
Yes, I couldn't tell. I mean, I listened to Melodic Blue a lot, but
I'm
it's,
saying. I was
it's like a
expecting him to
9
be
out
at
of
least
10,
number
bro.
2. I
But-
could have easily predicted your top 5, but it would have. Oh, actually, no, because
I
what
knew
was your
Yachty.
what was your 5th top listened to genre
Oh.
of the year? Go ahead, tell the people and
Oh
the
my
people at
God.
this table as well.
Let me pull up the screenshot because honestly, it was a
Any
pretty
guesses?
big tizzy.
Genre?
Genre.
Yeah, genre.
Any guesses?
Like
No, because now I'm just thinking of something absolutely.
I feel like it's gonna be
Yeah,
like
kind of
some
obscure.
anime or like something weird
It's-
like
it-
that.
you're
Is it
kind of
it's-
you're
is it
kind of
movie
getting
soundtracks?
warmer.
No, it's so
That's
my
a great
my
guess
number
as
one
well.
was Vapor Trap. My number 2 is Atlanta hip hop. My number 3 was
Vapor Trap.
melodic rap.
Okay.
My number 4 was Chicago rap,
Okay.
and my number 5 was barbershop quartet.
Oh, I remember this. I remember this now. Wait, how do you listen to quartets?
Yeah.
A lot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
It's like, why do you think
honestly,
it's
for
up
like
there?
a solid like 2 or 3 months, I would just like on the way to work and on the way back, I just listen to barbershop quartets.
I've been listening.
Would you sing along?
Would you try to harmonize?
What?
Yeah, I would.
If it's in your
Yeah, yeah.
top 5, you
Right.
gotta sing along.
Oh yeah.
That's
You're
fucking
just sitting in your car, just
Detective Avery.
not talking.
Detective Avery. I'm
just closing my eyes and like imagining all the like.
Not all driving.
Oh my god.
crashing, listening to barbershop
Oh my
quartet.
god.
Sorry, dude, you just got me in my zone.
Yeah.
But I love music. It's a huge part of my life. I listen to a lot of old music. I know you guys, like you just read off, you listen to a lot of new stuff, but
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I really
hey,
only
barbershop
like,
is it's kind of old. I'd be
I
listening
mean,
to
the genre
oldest-
itself is prehistoric. But
Pretty sure there was still
before the
dinosaurs.
making of beats.
the dinosaurs are like, dude.
It's just motherfuckers like. They're like,
We could go acapella, bro. We could get down. Trust me, we have, bro. Sometimes just randomly throughout the day, we just bust out into songs.
Yeah, honestly.
not for sure.
You know, just off the top.
Do you want to take a quick break? We don't have to if you don't want to, but I know that Daws wanted to do a commercial read real quick, and we're right at halftime. This is like 30 minutes right now, 32
wow,
minutes.
we've
so-
really been talking for 30 minutes.
Yeah, dude.
That's
Time
kinda
flies when
crazy.
you're having fun.
Yeah,
That's all I can
literally.
say. But yeah, we can give a little charge break, so maybe we can have a little bit longer of a podcast, and also Daws can have a little bit of not an intermission, but a
Commercial break?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
He can
yeah,
say.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this ad read is brought to you by Daws Vintage. Take it away, Daws. Floor is yours.
Oh, it's up to you. Yeah, it's improv. It's
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
It's also
All right,
improv.
it's you. Here we go.
well, have you been looking for a holiday gift for your loved one?
I
Well,
have.
head on over to the Vaulti in San Antonio, Texas. I don't know if you've ever heard of them before, but now you have.
I've never heard of them.
It is the center of the universe. It is the center of Texas. It is
Okay.
the center of San Antonio. It is the Vaulti.USA.
Yeah.
We're putting the A at the end, boys.
Let's
Nah,
go.
US of A. All right,
US
guys.
of A.
We'll be right back after this quick intermission. See you in a bit.
Peace.
We back. I'm not even about to let this whole beat run, man. Let's just get into it. Yo, honestly, during this intermission, you know what I'm saying? We were just chilling.
That meme of everyone flicking off the dog.
Oh, yeah. No, but,
Shout out to TK.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
free that guy.
I mean, I
Or
love
not.
his music.
Yeah,
but-
or not. I mean, it's
did.
all
Just
subjective.
drop a tape from jail, man. Come on.
Please.
It's happened before.
Dude,
man.
I said
know
that-
you got some unreleased
I
stuff.
said that.
Rio to
today
Young
where-
OG just dropped the tape from jail.
Oh, yeah, he did.
I said this
good tape, by the
today
way.
Yeah, solid.
with Avery. I was just like, free Melly. And then he was just like, what if he did it? And I was like, he probably did. That's a good point. I should like maybe just drop the tape from jail.
Keep him.
Yeah, keep
It's like a
him.
70-30 thing at this point.
I would say an 80-20.
80-20, sure. We could
TK
say.
definitely did that shit.
see what the court
Yes,
says.
yes. There's no doubt about it. TK definitely did that shit.
But in our intermission, we started getting into a rampant talk about video games, and me and actually all of us here have a pretty like good gaming background in all different like kind of aspects, you know. So since we have our guest here, Daws, I wanted to kind of like let him speak his piece real quick. We were talking about him and his prior connection to Tim the Tap Man, and him and his brother's connection to Castro, and like that. Honestly, those two names for like being in the gaming world, or like I don't know, just like absorbing gaming content on YouTube and Twitch for so long, those are big names, and that's something that blew my mind personally. I was like, what? And like seeing the video of like Tim, like, hey Dawson, like apparently we used to play Black Ops 2 together. Like I don't know. It was
Apparently.
no, but it was so funny because like his
love that
friend,
video.
because his friend like literally was together with Tim. Like
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
they have ties.
And Tim lives in Dallas now.
yeah, so
he does.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. That's great. So, like,
Yeah.
do you
Well,
do you still hop
first
into
I
streams?
have to say, Scump from Optic is my favorite streamer or any gamer of all time. So,
King
Oh, dude,
Scump,
that is
King
so
shout out to
Scump.
those other guys, but he's my all-time favorite.
Dude, I was just showing Carlo this clip. Apparently, he just won. We watched the
Warzone.
clip. It was a Warzone solo tournament. It was just like one game wins all. and he fucking apparently didn't play Modern Warfare, didn't play Warzone for months prior to that. Just hops in this tournament last minute and is like even asking his chat. He's just like, what's the fucking meta now? Like, I don't even know what guns to use.
What's the
bro
meta?
has a pistol as a secondary.
Yep.
And just absolutely shits on the best of the best and wins like fucking 50 grand.
It was like 100K, dude. Like it was a Twitch Twitch rivals. But after you showed me that TikTok, I was like, I have to watch this full video. And like,
you have to show me that. I want to watch.
Dude, it's I'll put it on after this. But like, it's literally astonishing because like it's cool because him in particular, he has a background in multiplayer. You know, not Warzone, where this is like a huge battle royale, and battle royales in particular have been emerging super recently, in my opinion. Like, I feel like the first ones were H1Z1.
That's what I played.
Yeah, like H1Z1 was like the first one that comes to mind. PUBG, and then it started fucking skyrocketing with Fortnite. But like, if you think about it, this is like in the past 3-4 years that the battle royale scene has been popping
like
off.
3, like I'd say like 3.
Yeah.
So, and then like Scump has been like playing professional Call of Duty in this space for probably 10 plus 12 plus years, as long as I've been like playing video games.
He's
you know what I'm
always been
saying?
like one of the best.
Yeah, he's been on like Complexity. He's been on like he had Optic has been his biggest team, but then went into Envy for a little while. I don't know, like, but just seeing his prowess and like a game where it's dominated by these people that literally day in and day night play or day out play Warzone, and that was just so cool to see. And you just say like Scump, like the whole Optic organization, like kind of even interweaving with like social media and like how we do it with like content. Dude, they are the first, like them and FaZe were the first two organizations that, and I credit it to like Hex, like where he fucking drilled it into every single person's mind. Content is king. Build yourself as a brand. Build, like, it doesn't matter if you're with Optic. You will succeed if you are with this brand and learn what I'm teaching you, whether it be content. Like, I don't know. I think that he was a huge mentor, and like the people, like if you heard about like Big Timer's story, or if you heard about Embo's,
I watched all that when they moved into that first house in Chicago. I watched all that. But mainly those FaZe guys have done it on another level. They're all like actual
billions.
They're not even like gamer. They're not gamers at all anymore. They're
FaZe like they kind of did the damn thing.
Yeah.
Like,
they have a Murakami collab.
Yeah.
They're going to be traded on the stock market. They have
they have a collab with Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
actually Microsoft.
Damn.
It's like
it's pretty crazy.
Another fucking org that's fucking huge is 100 Thieves too. They had an official Gucci collab. Do you remember when I sent that to you?
Yeah, that's so crazy. Yeah,
Gucci,
it's like a bag, right?
Talking a whole collection.
Yeah, that's super crazy.
Dude, shout out Nadeshot. I think that like even going back to what I was saying about Hex, like I think that Hex instilled it into Nadeshot where he was just like, yo, like even if you're not with me forever, learn about content, learn about branding and all of that. And like that's why I say there's like a parallel to like what we do in the Vaulti or what we do in like just selling. Is like you have to sell yourself, you know?
Right.
And I feel like if you like, I feel like Seth is the biggest example of that, where like he's kind of like a household name. If you know Call of Duty and you know about the pro scene, Scumpy is one of the biggest names. Like
if you don't know about him, you're nobody. For sure.
No, really, you got to do some research.
Yeah.
No. But I know kind of what you were saying, like to see those kind of gamers kind of tie into the battle royale scene, which we were really heavy in, and to see that because I mean you're so used to seeing Scump doing 5v5, Hardpoint, Search and Destroy, the fucking. What's that clip where he's like I'm the fucking man or some shit like?
Oh, that's in Hardpoint.
And he's just like, he's just
dude,
like,
that
I'm
was
the fucking man.
I know that verbatim. I'm sorry that I just like keep talking, but like that literally that is from Black Ops 2. They didn't end up winning, but that's from Champs in Black Ops 2, if I'm not mistaken.
He brought them back though. He brought them, I think, game away from winning.
Dude,
that tournament.
I think the series that was a different series, but they won that series. But literally, just fucking the other team had like 230 or 220 points, and Optic only had like 100 and something, and like broke the hill that the other people had, which is like a notoriously like lockdown hill that you can't get in. Does it solo, and then they end up like fucking capping the next hill, winning. I don't know.
It was fucking
amazing.
It's a crazy clip. What are y'all's earliest kind of video game, I guess, experience? Because for me, it kind of ties in all the way back to the Nintendo 64. My dad my dad for some reason had one, and we had 007 GoldenEye, Mario Kart, Mario
64.
Tennis. Like
Yeah,
we had
yeah.
we had Pokemon Snap.
Yeah,
That fucking
yeah.
game is. Didn't they remaster that?
They did
fairly
for the
recently?
Switch. Yeah.
Damn.
And then just a lot of the we had and then after that we had a PlayStation 2 that I guess my dad had gotten at a garage. I don't know, man. But PlayStation 2 was definitely my biggest memory because for some reason, whenever we had got the PS2, for some reason the fucking Nintendo 64 just disappeared. I never saw it after that, which is
Like, you don't
unfortunate
need
because
it
we had
anymore.
dude, we had
Right.
we had the clear the fucking clear controllers.
Yeah.
We had oof, man, it was just the shit. But this PlayStation 2, man, that's whenever we started getting into fucking like Laura Croft and fucking like the good Laura Croft, like when Angelina Jolie
Sly
was,
Cooper.
I was playing all the
Yeah,
Tony
yeah,
Hawk
Sly
stuff.
Cooper,
Right.
Anything
yeah.
skateboarding on there, that's what
Tony
I
Hawk
was in.
Underground 2, the soundtrack for that game, the fact that you could just go up to a wall and press triangle and it would fucking like
Yep.
that, just tag everywhere, tag up the library, fucking play as Bam Margera.
Oh my
And
god.
just, I mean, that's just
yeah,
that's
he
just kind of
was-
my earliest. From the PS2, went to Xbox 360, and that was around like Modern Warfare 2, obviously, and then getting into Black Ops, all the Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3, blah 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 blah. And then from there, got a PlayStation 4,
Dude, now that-
stuff like that.
now
That's
that-
just what I was wondering, man. Where have y'all been, dude?
I was
been
gonna
doing
say,
this.
I thought that
I thought
with
where have
the
y'all
shit.
been?
Xbox
Yeah,
360 was my first, but I think it's the GameCube. I forgot like
that's one I never had, dude.
because
was the
I had the
GameCube.
GameCube and I remember playing Kirby Air Ride a shit ton, and that one was a lot of fun because you can play it with like 4 people and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like an open world. But
Yeah.
that's the only that's my earliest. one.
Did y'all have any of the early like handheld stuff like PSP or DS?
So I had
absolutely.
I had
All
a what is the? I had a Game Boy
Yeah.
at first. I remember having a Game Boy Advance, and then I had a PSP, and I had a DS. I never got
Yeah.
any of like the newer DSs because like I think my parents knew that I was gonna break it
Oh
because
man, I went through them things.
The
dude, I'm
3DS.
telling
I
you,
used to bring
Yeah.
that to school every
DSi.
day.
dude, that's what I'm saying.
3DS, 3DS XL.
Thankfully enough, I had an uncle who at the time he was a beta tester for a lot of these video games and video game consoles.
Damn.
Like especially during the handheld era. Like
Yeah,
that's who I
yeah,
got
yeah.
my PSP
Yeah, that's
from.
honestly crazy.
So he would send me like I remember whenever on my PSP he would send me like just maybe 6, 7, 8 games at a time, and it would be like SOCOM. Like
Oh
shit like that, like just
man.
games that I wouldn't necessarily play, but it would be like
But it's like
Hey,
it's
it's
cool,
in front of
something
me,
to
might
do.
as well.
fuck yeah, dude. It
exactly.
was so sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Uncle Garner for real.
Uncle
Shout out
Garner.
Uncle
It's
Garner.
real
Uncle
one.
Garner.
Hope you're listening.
My first like video game experience. I grew up kind of sheltered, so my first video game, I think it was like my 5th or 6th birthday. I just remember being in it was like a bowling alley. And I got the Game Boy Advance SP, the one that
Ooh,
didn't
the
need,
SP.
it didn't need the light. It didn't
Yeah,
need the
yeah,
light
yeah.
to play.
No, 'cause
and
the
it was
screen
the,
was
the
better.
double. Yes, it was the double screen one.
Yeah.
And man, I had that same one till I was probably like 18.
Wow.
Like, dude, yeah, like it was a silver one. It worked like perfectly. Like I remember one time when I was probably like maybe like 10 or 11, and my sister, she did something and it made me mad, and so she grabbed my Game Boy and she threw it. But she threw it like, I don't know how she threw it. It was closed, but it opened and it spun around because of the way she threw it.
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
like went behind her and hit her in the back of the head.
Oh,
Like a boomerang?
Yes, like no, like literally, she like threw it, but I guess like maybe she threw it like up here
And it just
because it went
slid
like
out.
that and it boomed like. I was just cracking up because
Oh
I
my
was
God.
like,
That's
dude,
what you
like,
get, dude.
like I opened it and like my game was still like fine. It didn't like because you know
And
if
you're
you,
just like,
if you hit it too hard,
This
like
motherfucker's
the
still working.
The thing would
It's like-
freeze, like the game itself would freeze, but it was
Yeah.
still fine. And I just got back on the couch and I played it. And,
Yeah.
But yeah, like
That reminds me of this TikTok where it's like the guy, he's like, man, he just broke up with his girl or whatever. He's like, man, this bitch fucking tore up my PS4. And then he like,
Oh, it
clicks
still
and it's
worked
like,
though.
and it turns out he's like, this motherfucker's still working.
But like it's like literally, yes,
It's
I
so
know exactly
mangled.
what you're talking about. I know
Like,
exactly what
literally
you're
like
talking
she
about.
beat it with a bat.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it still works perfectly fine.
But like like all of my game, like I've been like super like a Nintendo head.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Game Boy. Then I got the
Ever since I met you.
GameCube.
Yeah.
Got the Wii. Like I've had like
The Wii U?
every handheld. Yes, the Wii U. I raged so hard that I broke my Wii U like the pad, because it was the console, and then there was like a big fat ass pad.
Yeah.
And I remember I was playing Smash Bros. And I lost, and I fucking like threw my GameCube controller down, but it like hit the Wii U board, and like the screen was cracked. Like literally,
Raging from a very early age.
No, this was like the Wii U came out like in like 2014.
This was 3 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, this is like last year. What do you mean?
But, like,
this was last night.
But no, like I only had one game, and it was Smash Bros. Because that's all I would fucking play.
Yeah.
Like that's the only reason I'd buy the new consoles was to get Smash Bros. And maybe like a new Pokemon game. But they didn't make like Pokemon for their main console.
Yeah.
So I just had this Wii U with Smash Bros. In it, so I would have to like press around the pad, not knowing where the action, because you couldn't use the joystick to get on the screen. Like it was like a touch screen thing.
Oh god.
So like I'd have to like kind of like, I figured it out eventually because it's all I would fucking do. But I would literally just like press like this one corner, and then the game would pop up, and then you'd have to like find the start button. It was just so bad because I never got it fixed. Like I literally still have that broken ass Wii U.
You know what that sounds like? It sounds like the sensors were off, because you see, I see some TikToks of people like having trouble with their Wii and their sensors break or whatever, so they put too many like fucking.
Dude, people are on
candles.
TikTok talking about the Wii.
Yeah. There's so many niches on TikTok.
The Wii is
I
timeless,
haven't-
bro.
I'm mainly on
Please
cat
get on
TikTok. I'm gonna be honest. That's
You're
a
gonna
lot
have-
of my feed.
My
have to
TikTok
like
is
more TikToks.
hell is absolutely scuffed.
Dude,
a
if
bit
you-
shitty.
So bad. I send them TikToks and they're like, "Why do you watch this kind of stuff?"
It's like all shit posts.
Yes,
It's all
it's
your
all
For You
shit
page.
posts. Like,
ask Kenyan to just hand you his phone and would just TikTok open and just scroll for like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
And
you're
the
like-
polar opposites.
I try
For
and
You
make my
page.
TikTok like a fashion page, but it's so fucking bad. Like so many just
Yeah, my
ridiculous
My TikTok
memes.
is just like a bad comedy, just one long bad sketch.
My
One
TikTok is
terrible
like
movie.
one
Yeah.
very long Adult Swim commercial break.
Oh god.
It's so bad. But yeah, I've always been into Nintendo and Sony. Like I not always, because I got my PS3, and then I got the PS4, and then I got a PS2, and I've had both of those.
Dude, whenever we'd have a PS2 at West Russell, we would just not get shit done. We would just
can't
fucking
believe
that.
I
Vice
forgot
City.
about
run it.
that.
Yeah,
Vice
Vice
City.
City. We'd run Fresh Prince of Bel-Air
Yeah.
season 5 on just repeat all day. We'd watch
my
old
God.
school fucking wrestling. It was,
Yeah.
it was dope.
It was great.
Blu-ray player. Yeah, another thing about the PS2 as well is that we used to travel a lot whenever I was growing up. So my dad would just plug in a fucking mini TV
Yeah.
and plug in he had this
The
adapter.
little like adapter that
it
you
would
plug
just
into
keep
the car
us,
charger.
dude. They
Yeah.
did not hear a word from me and my sister the whole ride, because we would just. I mean, that's the way we were iPad babies, I guess you could say.
Same.
You know what I'm saying? I
I
mean,
wasn't
nothing
an
wrong
iPad
with that,
baby.
bro.
Baby.
I wish I had a iPad when I was little.
That was not.
Oh,
me.
dude, I'm glad those weren't around whenever. I'm glad we were like somewhat grown whenever those
Yeah.
came out, dude. Because I mean, you'll see me even like whenever I'm eating or some shit, like at home, not in public, but I'll just be like fucking.
I try
Dude,
my
one of
best to
my-
put my phone
Need to
down,
watch
but it's
something,
hard.
bro.
One of my friends, their kid, he's like, they're all like, they're babies. Like he's probably
Yeah.
like, I think he just turned like 6 or 7, but Mans is like, he's into Roblox right now, and I just remember
he's on a 16?
Yes, I just remember the other day, because we had hung out like 2 or 3 weeks ago. He was playing like Roblox, and he was trying to buy a skin.
He
And-
raged.
No, dude, like literally I watched him for like 2 or 3 minutes just go to the app store and just like use his touch ID. Man spent like $40 in a minute and would just go buy skins, and then until he couldn't buy them, he'd just like go back again, and I'd be like, "Are you sure you can do that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I need
That's
the
not his
skins."
money.
And I was just like, dude, like
No way.
they're gonna get that
Can
bill
I-
at the end of the month.
I kind of want to expose myself, and I hope that this is past the statute of limitations where they can actually do anything.
Oh, no.
Here we
But,
go.
Oh, my.
I remember, like, I'll
Get
it's
ready
kind of
to
in
hit
the same. No, if we think that this is too bad, we can cut it out. But like, I remember as a child, it was kind of the same thing where like I had like my mom's credit card linked to
Yeah.
to pay the Xbox Live subscription fee. And like the thing is that it wasn't free. Like Live wasn't
Right,
free
right,
at
yeah.
that point where you had to pay a subscription.
Right.
But my mom, the saint that she was like, let me keep it on file. I trust you, oh
You
son
can
of
just
mine.
buy anything.
Yeah, yeah. So I remember vividly just racking up tabs left and right. $100. I was changing my name weekly. $10 a week. And I was just like, yeah. No, oh my God. I was just like, yeah, this is nothing. Like, it's not my money. My parents got it. And I was just like, and then my mom would like, one time she like sat me down. She's like, Carlo, there's like $1,000+ in charges from Xbox Live or like from Microsoft. What the fuck are you doing? I was like, there's no fucking way that was me, Mom. I didn't do any of that. Yo. And then she like she
Mom, I
like,
have a PlayStation. What are you talking about?
Like, that was like me when I was younger, but my shit was the iTunes. I would get in trouble with iTunes so much, dude. I'm talking like I was downloading fucking 50 Cent Eminem. Like Eminem was my shit. Whenever I first got my fucking iPad, my iPod, dude, I was just buying Eminem's album, Drake, Rihanna.
I can't believe we had to buy like digital copies like that because before you had to buy like a vinyl or a CD, you got something that had to be made. You know,
it's
like
not even yours, right? When
yeah,
you buy it online,
right?
Yeah, literally, it's just like a download.
Yeah,
you know? I mean, now you get it for $10 a month with Spotify or Apple Music.
Right. You can choose to pre-order stuff too, like. And I feel, and that goes into like their overall album sales or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, streaming is definitely.
I mean, they had us paying like $10 for a download. Literally.
Bro, I'm saying for like a whole album, $12.99. If I wanted to download one song, $2.99.
Yeah,
like
it's like what? Yeah,
for a song.
And I don't get anything at all. Just
honestly, I was
like,
never like a buy music type of person, but like I didn't have like the coolest phone or anything, and when I did get one, I'd just be like, "Oh, YouTube's a thing," you know. Like,
is that why you don't pay your phone bill?
Oh yeah, YouTube was life.
I'm off the grid.
Fucking grid. That's the best explanation of that I've heard.
But like, to be fair, bro, like I'm a minute away from my job, and my home also has Wi-Fi. And if I'm already at my job full time, then what do I like? I could text someone.
Kenny,
you can FaceTime me. You can call me through Instagram.
There was one instance in particular where we thought you were dead or missing. And I
feel like I remember that
a couple of times.
I feel like I remember that.
I was contacted.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
And
now.
I was like, I haven't been able to contact him. He should be home. Don't know where he is.
It was the
internet was out.
Yeah, the internet was out at my house. Yeah.
What if that happens again? And I'm trying to.
That happens. What if that happens? Dude, what if the whole power goes out?
I guess you'll hear from me when you hear from me. I'm on the grid. I can't.
Dude, you're like, yo, what's hey?
I literally text our group chat. I was like, has anyone heard from Kenny? And like, no one was like, no. Now that you think about it,
everybody was like, no.
Yeah, I haven't heard from him for 8 hours, and we're just like,
I just go to the gas station down the road because they had Wi-Fi, and I just ended up like texting like, I'm good, or like I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but
you're at the gas station to use your Wi-Fi, but you're texting, I'm good, I'm chilling.
Meanwhile, you're at a gas station. Like, I'm okay.
Well, the gas station's like 2 minutes away from my house, so it's like I just drive there.
I feel like you're just justifying this.
No, I'm not. I mean, I've come to terms with it. Like, it'll probably be a while before I get a phone. Like, to be fair, I have so much shit that I have to pay for.
No,
that, like,
I feel you.
By the end of it, I'm like, damn, like I can still text people. Like,
that's a sacrifice you're willing to make.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I get it.
Fair enough.
So many places have free Wi-Fi now. Like,
exactly, it's quite universal.
Yeah, I was even thinking of getting a hotspot. I mean, it wouldn't. It wouldn't.
Well, no, the thing is like cellular data if you're gonna pay for a hotspot.
But the thing is like, if I already have a phone, like if I go to another like provider or something, they're gonna be like, oh, you need to buy a phone with us or something.
Yeah.
You know, I could just go to another provider.
Like that's just more money.
Yeah, exactly. It's just more money. But if I go to a provider and it's like, hey, I have this like a portable hotspot, you can just like set a password for, like, just put that in my pocket or put it in a bag or some shit and just be cool, you know, like make sure it's charged or whatever. Like,
my god.
Put it in the pocket, put it in the bag.
I feel like it's literally essentially the same thing. You're just like, instead of paying monthly for one thing, you're paying monthly for another thing.
But it would be cheaper, essentially. If I get it, depending on what plan it is, you know, if I get a hotspot and it's like
another
like
firewall, or like it's like circumnavigating one thing so you can like make your life harder.
You still can't call
cheaper.
me, but you can FaceTime. Yeah, exactly.
Did he must have told you this, but he tried to FaceTime you.
No, I tried to phone call.
Yeah.
Phone call.
Yeah. and
it was a lady.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny
It was
because
a woman.
Yeah, it's funny because
You mean to tell me overnight? It's like, what?
get-
What a sudden change.
It's funny because for some reason, like Apple doesn't recognize like after a certain while, if you don't pay your phone bill, like they
give your
just
phone
give
number
your phone
away.
number away. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Damn.
I guess whoever this lady is, like, must not have an iPhone because I get her iMessage texts sometimes, and they're just from random people. They're all the same
Okay.
name. I don't know the name, but they're all in Spanish. So I just never
I see.
reply to them because I don't know if they can't. Like if they don't, like if I text them like wrong number, like
Yeah.
like I don't know if they can understand it, you know, like they, but
Google
they're
Translate,
always,
bro. It's
they're,
simple.
but they're always in Spanish, and I just like at this point, like some of them like text me
Oh
a
my
few times,
goodness.
and I just like never like I just look at them and I'm like, huh, this lady's probably just as inconvenienced.
I know.
We give and take. You give my number, I take your contacts. An eye for an eye.
There's emergencies.
Y'all,
and
y'all are
Kenny
like
is just
linked
looking at his
together now.
phone.
Huh?
Y'all are like linked together now.
Yes, exactly. We're
Oh my-
like bonded
Forever.
But yeah. At least until I decide to get a phone number.
You just have a stream of consciousness and it's half in English and half in Spanish.
It's like I learned how to speak Spanish solely through this other
Yeah.
lady's text.
Please.
But
Really hilarious.
Oh,
once
yeah.
I
Please
get a
run that.
number, it's weird because I've gone through it like 3 or 4 times.
Oh my
I never
God.
pay my phone bill on time.
I have a lot of GKs in my contacts.
Yeah.
But like I'll get a new
Now that
phone
you think
number.
about it, me too.
I'll get a new phone number with the same phone, and I'll like text people, but my number will come up as something else. So I'll just continue the conversation like nothing ever happened. Like group chats, it'll just be like a new number. They'll be like, "Who the fuck is this?"
Who even added this dude?
For real.
That's
Golly.
funny.
Anyways, hope you get that taken care of soon.
Yeah,
Because we
Kenny,
miss
you
you.
need some help.
Yeah.
probably won't, but it's okay.
Anyways, fucking hell.
We should get into some
intermission.
clothing again.
I know, bro.
Yeah.
That intermission
Yeah.
got us going.
Yeah.
Really. Okay,
From
but
video games to
anyways,
being off the
the one of the topics we wanted to get into also was the great debate. Honestly, I feel like most of us are on the same page about this, so I wouldn't call it a debate, but pretty much just the conversation about modern day bootlegs versus actual vintage bootlegs. What's the difference? How are you able to justify the price for either or? Because a guy on Instagram, I'm not going to name who he is, but a guy on Instagram, I was watching one of his lives, and he brought up a pretty solid point about how the word bootleg, what does the word bootleg mean to you guys? Fake? Or
I think it's
It's just not an official thing. you
Yeah.
know,
okay,
like-
not official.
But
Yeah.
but I would say from the correct era though,
right, okay.
Right,
That's
right.
true.
because
Yeah.
if it wasn't, then it would be a reprint.
right,
think,
right, like a
yeah.
reprint.
I think
Yeah.
like a Webster's dictionary definition would probably be an unlicensed or like an unlicensed product that imitates a different brand.
Like
you
an
know?
like an actual product.
Yeah, like so it's just like how Nike has bootleg sneakers. You know, it's imitating Nike. You know, it's
Right.
like it's
Right.
trying to do that. Like you
Right.
can't really bootleg nothing.
Yeah,
it has to
right.
be imitating.
There has to be something
Yeah,
to,
but
to
for-
process.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think for a lot of that Nike stuff, it gets to like where it's just like a straight like replica. But like in vintage, like a lot of the bootleg is like their own design.
Yeah.
Right.
Or like especially when it comes to rap tees and band tees. I think bootleg might be more of like
Like you can tell, like the images are like grainy and they're all off centered, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they have these like crazy vibrant colors, like and they usually just depict like the person. Like I feel like on official stuff, it might depict the people, but there's also like some that depict like the cover, or they just
Yeah.
depict like some crazy graphic, you know.
yeah.
But really,
bootlegs
like
definitely have like cooler designs, but
Yeah.
yeah,
How do you
the end
feel
of the
about
day.
them?
like I said earlier, I'm a big guy about the era, so I want something from the correct era.
Okay.
Like right now, I want Playboy Cardi or Little Peep shirts from this era, or
Yeah.
like I don't want like a Black Sabbath shirt from like '92 because they're a '70s band.
Yeah.
You know, I like to do
Right.
the correct like era
Right.
from like when the band was around
Okay.
or whatever the shirt is.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it all starts for me. And I mean, I don't really have any. I have like a Travis Scott bootleg.
Yeah, I saw that
Sure.
one that you posted.
But I don't really have too many
like new.
new
bootleg,
age.
yeah,
I have
yeah.
like obviously bootleg tour shirts from the 90s or 80s
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, but nothing like new age at all.
I feel like the real big like not issue with any of us, but in the vintage community right now, people are kind of hating on like modern bootlegs. Like there's a lot of people that have been doing like like modern bootlegs of like what they like whether it be like cartoons or like movies or something. Like there's this one guy I follow, and I really like them, but they're like he does like some anime and like video game ones. Like I think I saw he did like it was like a Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Like it's a PS2 game, but he did like a bootleg of it. But from what I remember, I think it was just like the video game cover or something. But I feel like I've seen a lot of people like kind of hating on them.
Yeah,
like
I feel
like
that.
people are saying like, oh, like it's not a mod, like it's not on a vintage shirt, so it's not like a bootleg, like it's a reprint, and saying like people are just in it for the money and like
I can see both
I feel like
sides.
that's kind of where like the debate. That was where the debate for me was like, how do y'all feel about if y'all have seen any like modern bootlegs, like which are really just shirts that people have been making
right
to
as
pay
of
homage
recent.
to. Yeah,
exactly. I feel like homage is a huge word whenever you start to think of these kinds of things, because regardless of whether this shirt was printed fucking yesterday, the it's all about creativity. I feel like at the end of the day,
Right.
and like name drop, but fucking All American Vintage, he's dropping some of the best bootlegs that I've ever seen, or some of the best bootleg graphic tees as far as recent as like he did a Home Alone, and then he did like this tee right here.
Oh, okay.
See it?
Okay.
Can
Yeah,
you
yeah,
show
yeah.
the camera that?
I mean, as soon as I look at that, I can tell he printed that right now.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
That's
It's
kind
not,
of like the crazy front graphic.
Turn it a little. Turn it.
And like, have you
like,
seen that
yeah,
the Dexter
perfect.
Laboratory one that's been going around?
Yeah.
I've seen that one as
The
well.
full print
That-
one.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's vintage cartoons or no?
I don't know who it is, but I saw it. But usually how I see these bootlegs, that I'll see one person post it, and I'm like, damn, that's a really rare shirt. And then I'll see another one and another one.
You're
They're
like,
all
oh, wait
dead
a
stock.
minute.
So
I'm
you
like,
get-
oh, okay, someone made this.
Yeah,
Okay,
so you
let
get
me-
kind of like
Right,
duped
right,
into
right.
thinking
Yeah,
it is
yeah, yeah.
vintage.
Right.
Well,
So
like, even
not.
like-
I feel like it's like unless you see the original post, like you would know like, oh, like someone made that.
Yeah.
You know. But
No, I feel that.
when you see like hella people like, oh, like shout out so and so, it's like
Yeah,
also-
and I mean, we are like, we all have jobs and make our money from doing vintage and all
Yeah.
this. So like a kid that just gets into it, that has $300 to spend, those are the kids that like aren't really gonna know.
Yeah.
But
right.
obviously
right.
for us, it's a little easier to tell.
Right.
Yeah.
You can
What-
tell like the Chronic Images shirts, like they don't feel like a
Yeah.
vintage shirt, but
Yeah,
people they resell them
Yeah.
like because they
Yeah.
sell out and there's hype behind it,
Yeah.
But like a kid's gonna like see that and buy it thinking that it's like a Marvel mega print or some
Yeah,
shit.
see that's
like-
another thing too, is like whenever we started like becoming more familiar with a lot of this Marvel stuff. I mean, dude, I started seeing Mask and Disguise shirts and being like, oh, this is probably like this is a huge fucking
Honestly,
Marvel
the-
shirt.
the first
Come
time
to
that-
find out,
Yep.
like, you know what I'm saying?
One
Like,
of the first times
it's
we
new.
got one in, yeah, exactly. One of the first times we got one in, I was, or I think like someone posted it for like a steal price, like it was
Yeah.
like $40, and Isaac bought it, and I mean he knew that it wasn't like a vintage shirt, but I saw it and I was like, oh, like did you get this? Like did you source this? And he was like, no, not really. It's a new shirt.
Yeah.
But like it was just like, oh shit, like. And then I kind of started like seeing like more stuff like that, like
One thing I want to say with like the newer age bootlegs, I feel like there's also a different, like I feel like there's a like kind of like a caveat or like a difference when like for instance, I feel like the Dexter's Laboratories or like some of the other like newer cartoons or something that like maybe for example like a Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends or something like that, where they didn't capitalize on making merch at that point. Or like even if you think of like an artist like Frank Ocean, where he's only put out like 2 or 3 shirts or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe
Like
I'm
small
I'm-
collections.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
To the point where
Yeah.
it's just like he doesn't put out merch like that. So like maybe a bootleg rap tee of Frank or something like that, where like they don't capitalize on that market, not in a way
they
where
just
it's
want to
just
make
like,
one because
they want
like
to
Frank Ocean.
exactly,
Yeah.
and like they just
Yeah.
want to wear a Frank Ocean T-shirt. And I feel like the people like the Sergio Calabasas's and like the people like that, where like they print him on quality garments. They're not trying to like fool you into thinking it's a vintage tee. Like if you hold
Right.
one of his tees, it's like thick cotton. It's like
Yeah,
a
very new
screen
age,
printed
like,
tag,
yeah,
but like really good quality graphics. And I think that that's like another thing where like there's like a really good distinction where it's like where people are trying to capitalize off it, where it's just like you can tell direct to garment and you can see the fucking outline of where the print is on the wrap tee, and it's like, oh, he just wanted to hop on the template wave that they give you on Photoshop. You know?
and that's like the big thing with what like Supreme would do or what Virgil would do. Everything said Off-White or Supreme on the tag. It was no confusion at all.
Right. It was
like,
very much
at all. And I mean, now you see people printing it, like sourcing vintage blanks just to print a exact design from the 90s on a vintage blank.
Right.
I mean, at that point, to me, that's just, a fake, like a replica.
It's a fake. So that's another thing that I wanted to touch on too, is I feel like, me personally, that there is differences between bootlegs, fakes, I guess bootlegs and fakes. I feel like bootlegs are, because if you think about it, the word bootleg originated around like whenever we were fucking bootlegging like liquor and bootlegging fucking, people been bootlegging things since before any of us were around, what I mean?
Clothes were a thing.
Yeah, before I feel like people even gave a shit about
bootlegger
clothes.
is like a ye old term, like like a pirate almost,
And then you
like
kind of see
ahoy.
you kind of see shirts that we're around that are bootleg, say rap tee graphics,
right?
And you see some bootleg rap tee graphic tees go for more than, say, like an officially licensed shirt, or something like that,
right?
Why is it, do you guys think that the good bootlegs, I'm not talking about the fakes, I'm talking like the shit that was printed in garages and they were fucking high off whatever, just printing these shirts, like the imperfect ones, the ones where they're all crooked, the ones where they're misprinted, like I'm talking like those on bootleg tags, like what makes those hold so much value as opposed to, say, an officially licensed shirt in y'all's opinion?
Well, personally, for me, when I collect band tees, I looked for the licensed stuff, just because, like, for instance, for the Smashing Pumpkins, there's only 2 shirts that they ever released that have a picture of the band on them, but there's a lot of bootlegs that have pictures of the band and everything. So, like, in that case, it's just, in my opinion, I would rather have the ones that the band approved to make and approved to put out and all that. But I think when it gets into the hip hop and rap stuff, like, we know now that hip hop is like the biggest thing in the world and in music and everything. But in the 90s, it wasn't at all. So, I mean, a lot of these guys never had official licensed shirts or never had anything to do with their graphics, really. But the bootlegs were just like, we're kind of just like a whole culture and design of their own that have just spread into more than just, hip hop.
And those are the people that actually like consumed that, and like those are the people that actually enjoyed that like material and wanted to make the merchandise for them. It's like how you said that like hip hop in the 90s and like late 80s, early 90s was a lot more taboo, to the point where it's like it's you don't have like I'm not trying to say this in a weird way, but you don't have like white kids listening to Kodak Black and Passing Period in high school, like it's not,
I feel like nowadays you'd be surprised.
I was listening to Kodak Black in high school.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like nowadays it's now, but like
at that time it was like
you're right.
Not that it was like not that it was like gate kept, but there was a certain audience that hip hop and like
100%
rap like targeted.
So the people that actually made them actually wanted to, and like they took care of it, and they like they did it because like they loved that artist, or they were trying to either give them merch.
And back then, bootlegs were like way cheaper than the licensed stuff.
Yeah, dude, they were probably selling them for $5, dude, or some shit like that.
I mean, you can go see like some of Sneaker Mo Easy stuff will have the original price tag. It'll be like $6.99 for a fucking Erykah Badu rap tee or something crazy that goes for thousands now.
Yeah,
like they were cheap, and I mean now. Like we were talking about, like off air, the bootlegs now, some of them are just way too expensive. I mean, they're making them now in
like charging like $80, $100.
Yeah, well, what do you think kind of justifies that price? I guess the only thing that I can think of is like I made this.
I think it all just goes into the cost to make the shirt. Like if it's a full print shirt, it's going to cost a lot more.
Exactly.
Like nowadays, like definitely, and if they're going through like a manufacturer, like, and depending on the tees, like. All that, like, I mean, that's why we priced our merch at what we price it at, because we have to realize like how much it costs to make the shirt at the end of the day, you know.
That is true.
And a lot of work into like doing the logos and the designs.
Yeah,
photo
exactly.
shoot.
It wasn't
It
just
takes time.
something.
Yeah. And if you're like also paying like different people to be on this like project too, like you have to take into account that too.
Yeah.
And depending on how limited the run is and stuff like that.
I just feel like, you know, this is one of the debates that I think is going to forever never be settled, because there's too many, it's too opinionated. I feel like it's just, you know, some people aren't going to rock with bootlegs at all,
Right.
because a bootleg,
Isn't
if it's
the
a
real
bootleg,
thing.
it's a fake.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Or there's people like that would rather have a bootleg than say an officially licensed piece.
Right. I also
Or
feel
there's
like-
people that are just like, fuck paying $350 or up for this full print tee. I'm gonna get this one that's just as cool in my opinion, and I'm
Right.
gonna pay $85 for it.
And it's very interesting, like for the old ones, I feel like even though like a lot of the artists were a lot like very different, like all the bootleg rap tees in particular,
they have the same kind of style.
exactly,
Yeah.
you know, and like for some reason I feel like there's no way it was the same dude just doing all of them, you know, where it's just like
One man band.
yeah, but
It's
like it
I'm
was
gonna go to this
instead
Tupac concert here. Let me just
yeah, no, but like for real, where it's just like that one person did that style, and all the bootleggers are like, yeah.
because
that's that style.
it was probably selling like at the
Yeah.
concert, like, and people like probably noticed that and they're like, huh, I could do something like this, you know.
Yep.
There's probably a rap tee that no one's ever seen before out in the wild, you know, like
Sure.
No, I've seen
Like
it.
the like
I've
the
seen
Yeah.
I've seen that shit.
mankind.
Yeah, no,
rap
we've
tee,
seen
bro.
it.
yeah.
What the fuck?
I mean,
that
they-
Mankind,
but like,
like-
they crossed over like in the later '90s. You see some of like the Michael Jordan ones, or like
Yeah,
I've seen like a
exactly.
Penny Hardaway one, or like the Shaq one.
Yeah.
and then they did a lot of the MLK stuff. But I
Yeah.
think that just like I think it should be
Even, like,
rightfully
little
named
stuff.
like the bootleg rap tee, because that's
Yeah.
how it started.
Like
but
even
it's
like the Million Woman March.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
there's,
yeah.
there's fucking rap tees for that.
Yeah.
You know, and there's
Like,
like
where do you
different
think
ones.
they sold
Yeah.
those, man? At the fucking march.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Like, it might have
that's-
just
Yeah.
defined the '90s, like if you think about it. Not define the '90s, but like in that, like in terms of bootlegs, like that
was kinda the
style was,
style.
yeah, it was kind of the style. I remember one time me and James were watching Baby Boy, I think is what it is.
I think you told me about this, and yeah,
And in the
right.
background, in one of the scenes, there's a guy literally selling Tupac rap tees, like on
my
the street.
God,
Like it's kind of fucking. It was kind of cool.
That's sick.
like I noticed it, and I was like, "Wait, go back!" And he was like, "No way!" And we fucking watched it again, and he was like, "It was like one of the ones we have like
Yeah.
in store." Like
Yeah,
That's
dude.
sick.
I mean, or even whenever The Last Dance came out. I mean, you get into some of the later episodes whenever they were, on their three-peat and shit like that. And I had that kind of same moment. There was this guy walking in line, and you see it perfectly. Maybe we just have an eye for this kind of stuff. To a regular person, I mean, they don't fucking even
right.
think
They don't
twice
even
about
like.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
But something about the colors on his tee just kind of caught my eye, so I paused it right at a good spot. Sure enough, the fucking one of the bootleg Bulls tees that we have with everybody like Rodman's over. It's like I'm pretty sure we have it right now.
Yeah.
But that kind of stuff you could just notice, or even watching
the trial of the people versus
People
OJ
versus
Simpson.
OJ,
yeah,
bro.
at the very
whenever
end.
he's
yes,
coming
yeah,
back,
yeah,
whenever
yeah.
whenever he got
Literally,
he
there's
got
people,
found
like-
not guilty.
Yeah.
They're driving him back. And you see people
Like,
in the
holding
streets
him up like the
holding
juice,
up these
yes,
free
bro.
OJ, the juice
Juice
is
is
loose.
loose. Yes, bro. That shit was crazy.
Have y'all seen
Squeeze the juice.
the Ted Bundy one at the very end, where like
The one with Zac Efron?
he gets executed at the jail, and there's people like out there selling like Ted Bundy is finally dead shirts and shit. Like
No way.
yeah, literally, it's on that one on Netflix. Like
The one with Zac Efron or no?
like the
that's-
reenactment one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's at like the very end.
Oh wow.
And that is tight how the directors and the producers of that show.
Yeah, I'm sure they like
pull back
actually
the
source those
reference
too.
for those.
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
that's what I'm
100%.
saying.
Like, yeah, that's
so sick.
That's
But,
crazy.
Yeah, I think that this is just not gonna ever.
It's never
get
gonna be settled. Yeah.
and I feel like that us, because we're around this stuff kind of all day.
Yeah.
Especially us selling actual effing Backstock Co.
Yeah, exactly.
All those
like
brands.
even like Platinum Baca, like we
Right.
like
and the
Sergio
vintage
Calabasas.
stuff too.
And the vintage
yeah,
stuff. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
And
It's
Warren
crazy.
Lotus.
Yeah,
and Warren Lotus, yeah. I
And
wouldn't call him
Nike.
a bootleg. I mean, yeah, he's
Yeah,
kind of a
yeah,
bootlegger.
yeah.
But I'd also
Yeah.
call him like a
I mean-
rip-off artist.
I mean,
Like-
some of those Liquid Blue was just a
Oh, yeah, like the Weapon X one.
Those
yeah,
were rough.
those were rough.
Yeah.
But some of the shoes he did his thing on.
Yeah.
A little more.
I mean,
Nah, debatable.
I
I
feel
like the first
little more.
Jasons. I like the first Jasons,
Dude,
not the, new
Jasons and
Reapers.
the Heinekens that he did.
I like the
I think
colors.
those did really well.
I think those just had a weird
some of those
shape.
did drop.
We had
right?
those when we opened.
Yeah, we did have the Heinekens. We found them a
But
couple times.
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of easy for us to kind of settle on, I guess, our opinions, just because, like, you know.
Hey, if we sell it, it's cool.
Yeah, exactly, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'll wear
like,
fake anything. I don't give a shit.
Okay. Maybe not us, but
Nah, not us, man. We got to, you know.
he's like, this Vaulti hat fake right now.
He's out to shine. Yeah, it's that bootleg, man. It's that bootleg shine shit.
I actually got it at Graves.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a shine. Oh, it's a shine hat. I thought it was a Vaulti hat.
Hey, bleep that out.
I got it.
Man, that was quick.
Yeah, dude.
man,
But
dude.
hey, we can keep talking, but we've been on for like an hour and like 20 minutes.
Wow.
Cool, man.
Do you want to keep going?
It's up to you guys, man.
I'm down to keep going, but I just wanted to inform y'all. I'm at like 20 something.
It's going to be a long podcast.
No, but I like podcasts like these because like we kind of got lost in the conversation. And I feel like that's a good conversation.
Lost
but
in the sauce.
I also just want to make sure that we're not like going for like 2 hours and we're like, oh,
What's the matter with that, yeah?
you know,
I feel like
I have to
I feel
edit
like
it.
an hour's listenable.
No, yeah.
2 hours on a pod. I mean, I can't think of a podcast
Yeah.
that's like 2 hours long.
Hey, guys.
I mean, I listen to Joe Rogan and some of his.
Oh
are
my
long.
God,
And I
yeah.
mean, you know, just put it on and
I'm listening to this podcast of his. He just recently had this doctor that's like super high up in the medical field or whatever, journalist,
Umar.
big time journalist, whatever. And I'm just kind of in the car listening to this on the way home, and it's just like I feel like I need that smartness in my brain to kind of refresh because I don't know what the hell they're talking about. If
Oh,
I'm being
dude.
honest, I mean they're
Yeah.
talking about all
No, I
these
feel that.
medicines and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and it's just it's interesting to listen to because it's a different aspect
Well,
of something that I don't really
you
vibe
have to
about.
be doing like something else though. You can't
Yeah,
just
exactly.
have like full focus because
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
It wouldn't work for me.
That's
I'd be too
ADHD,
uninterested.
baby. That's us being iPad babies.
Be way too uninterested. Any
We're
closing
not
thoughts,
iPad
gentlemen?
babies.
I don't feel like
I'm not
feel
an
like we are.
iPad baby.
I was an Xbox baby. That in the back seat of a car.
Oh,
like
that was
DVD.
another thing. I had my PS3 going back to this, and
Okay.
but a lot of
I
my
loved the
friends,
PS3.
I did too. I
loved
love
it so much.
yeah, honestly, like PlayStation.
I never had one, so I would have to go to my other friend's
Never
house
played
to
one.
play it.
But a lot of my homies were Xbox kids, so I
Me.
just remember like I ended up finding like a cheap ass Xbox, like it was like $120, like it was a 360, like that was the
360,
yeah, and I found it, and literally like at one point I had both, and I would just like I'd hop on like maybe play like some Call of Duty or like play some Minecraft, and then
Yeah.
I'd go to my PlayStation and play like Call of Duty with like my online friends because no one in my school had a fucking PlayStation except
Yeah,
for like my
true.
best friend.
Yeah.
So like I'd play with them, and then I'd hop on Xbox and play with our other friend because he had both too, and it was just.
I had a couple
it was just
friends
crazy
that had
time.
different
yeah.
consoles at the same time.
Yeah, I was.
It must be nice.
I was riding with Bill Gates the whole way.
Same.
Dude,
Yeah.
All the way. I have
wish-
Xbox One still.
He has all my information from when I was like 10.
Bill Gates can have my life.
Yeah. And my mom's credit card.
he owns a part of you.
Literally, he's got a 1% stake in Carlo's life.
Yeah, nah, for
Most
sure.
def- maybe more.
He owns
It's like
my.
he bought at the dip.
Yes.
he bought at the dip when he was 10 years old.
If he owns the intellectual property of like gamer tags, then he owns my fucking IG at. Like I had that.
is true.
But
He
other
owns
than
the
that,
rights.
dude, I love this podcast. I think this was a great one. Like, thank you, Daws, for taking the time
Yeah,
out of
hell
your
yeah,
day.
bro.
Like,
Thank you guys
a
for
pleasure.
Make sure to let them know where to find you on all
Yeah.
socials and
Plug
all
yourself,
selling
dude.
platforms, everything
Pause.
like that.
I mean, like you can find me on Instagram, but you know, I don't know if you really want to follow me. I'm quite crazy
Opinionated.
on there, and honestly, I'm trying to stop using that account as much because like I'm just trying to put vintage on there only,
yeah.
and I'll just make a new account and just post
The return of
selfies and
Nasty
just
Daws.
random stuff and just
Please bring back Nasty
shit that I
Daws.
make. Yeah.
The streets need it.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
streets need it.
I'm done. I'm trying to just leave vintage, or not
You're
leave
quitting
it,
the vintage
but
game.
just make
Wow.
it like
Breaking news.
10% of my life,
I see.
and then the rest I'll just do whatever I want all day long.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, man.
Stream
I
or
love it.
something.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Get a new cat.
whatever it is you're gonna do, man, we'll be along for the ride as well, man. We
Yes,
support
sir.
you. You are one of our very,
Absolutely.
very good friends, and it's been an absolute fucking pleasure, man.
It has.
All his socials will be linked in the caption. You know the vibes, man. It's been another episode of Vaulti Radio. I couldn't tell you what episode it is, but it's been a fucking great time.
Sam.
I'm
Sam.
here.
Sam.
I'm here with my co-host Kenny,
Hey.
my other co-host.
Official co-host.
Carlo.
What's
Official.
going on?
Official. It was a battle between me and Brandon.
Yeah.
And
I
guess
heard
who
Brandon
won?
didn't
Yeah.
talk.
The co-host.
I know
Yeah.
the one who didn't talk.
Brandon
Fucked
got
him
high
up.
one episode and he lost his rights as a
Yeah,
co-host.
he was seeing ghosts the whole
That's what
time.
happens,
and
dude. Don't fuck it up.
Hey,
He
but
lost
make
his
sure
rights
that
as
you
a
share this on
permanent guest.
Spotify, Apple Podcast. Thank you for letting us get to 96 on Apple Podcast Fashion Podcast. What the fuck is that?
I
We don't
know,
talk
yeah,
about
but
fashion.
thank you.
Apparently,
Thank you,
we
yeah.
got drip.
But yeah, we'll see y'all next time.
As they say.
Next Wednesday, you already know where to find us at
Bing.
Vaulti Radio on all of our fucking platforms.
Have a good night, folks.
Later.
Never hear from me again.